Good morning, and welcome to this Monday morning's edition of Contracting Chatter, where we discuss government contracting and business. So, let your business partner know that we're live. Grab your contracting notebook and let's get started. Now, hey, Patty, I'm eating on live, something I never do. So off brand. But sister's hungry this morning. I always have my coffee. That is on brand. Moving on. So excuse me. This morning's topic. I'm just gonna jump right on into it. Let me turn my TV off because before I get muted on Facebook. I'm changing my topic just a little bit. Hear me out, walk with me. I recorded a minor video where I was talking about understanding and recognizing and asking yourself the question: know or discern, understand how you're supposed to walk and move with people when you meet them. And somebody is going to say, you can't know that. Yes, you can. My mentor made the statement. I'm in a mentor group. And if any of you have followed me, good morning, Tony. If any of you have followed me for any amount of time, you will know I have a mentor and I have multiple coaches. And each coach coaches me in a different area of my business. And if you're saying that's too much, then you need to really follow me. Because in my 10-year journey, LT&A Consulting Group has turned 10. I have another business, L Turner Associates. That one turns 15 next year. And what I'm sharing with you, in addition to my regular content, is the lessons that I have learned while building my business. And one of the lessons is one coach and one consultant, one whatever, can't do it because everybody specializes in something. I have a marketing coach, and let me tell you, she's getting my marketing together. She's gotten my brand messaging together. I have a mindset coach, and she did some deconstruction and some breakdown. Matter of fact, I got mad with her at one session, and she knew I was angry with her. And matter of fact, she hit me with something. She knew I was upset with her, and she said, "You're upset. And when you're finished becoming upset, we'll reconvene and then we're going to discuss why you're really upset with me." Man, I was blown. But guess what? That's why I can view situations the way I view them. Because there are times we have preconceived notions and they color how we view interactions with situations, with people, and with everything. And there are times those preconceived notions are to our detriment. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they're often because we're viewing one person in the wrong way, we're often viewing other people incorrectly. And because we're viewing one person wrong, we're seeing another person wrong, and the other person we're viewing incorrectly is the greater person we should be watching. Hello, keep walking with me. And in business, that can be dangerous. Because in business, the person that we're viewing in a higher light, because we have a bad perception of another person, that person we're viewing in a higher light is the more dangerous person. So There's times we need to fix our mindset about how we view people so that we can come into a situation and, as much as possible, strip away our preconceived notions so we can view things clearly. A lot of businesses fail because we're not viewing people clearly. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, you know, thumbs up, heart emoji. I'm live on TikTok and across all of my social media platforms. So I need to know that this is registering with everybody. A lot of businesses fail because of our inability, or because of the inability, to strip back as much as possible preconceived notions, misunderstanding, misapplied verbiages, and it's sad because there are some powerful businesses out here who could be taking the business world by storm and shaping communities, but they fail and they stumble because of mis misviewed opportunities. And that's something else we're going to go into. There's a phrase that everybody loves to use: know, like, and trust. And you have to have that know, like, and trust factor. You have to know, like, and trust your business partners. You have to know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. And I'm going to tell you, people misapply, they misconstrue, they miss the mark with that. Know, like, and trust does not mean that person is supposed to be your best friend. You may never allow that person across your doorstep. That person is somebody you may never give a ride to. That is a person that you may never, ever, ever interact with outside of a business meeting. Know, like, and trust is you know that they're capable. You know that they have a reputable business. You know they can get the job done. You like the way that they do business. And you trust that they can get the job done. That's it. That's know, like, and trust. It doesn't mean that they become your best friend. I don't know why people think that know, like, and trust means that person is going to become your best friend. You will not become best friends with everybody you do business with. You will not. And as quiet as it's kept, the further along you get in business, the more particular you become with who is in your friend circle. And the one thing I was told when I first started my business, I did not understand. And this was before I even properly set up a business. This was before I saw in myself what I see today. And people are still seeing things in me that I still don't see in myself. They told me you need to evaluate your circle and do some elimination. You will find that people who are high up in business have a tight inner circle, a very tight inner circle, a, a tight, a very tight inner circle. And there's certain How does this relate to business? Because that know, like, and trust does not translate into being a part of the inner circle. And the thirst to be a part of every single inner circle that you see is it is actually a turnoff. So you trying to translate know, like, and trust into becoming a part of everybody's inner circle, no. You just want to convey as a business owner that you are trustworthy enough to do the job you said you were going to do. That's what it's supposed to be. And that comes from having integrity, that comes from having character, and that comes from just walking the walk. And people can see that. But that also comes from being able to discern who you're supposed to do business with and on what level. Some business partnerships are only for a season. You'll do business with them for a while, and that's it. Some business partnerships are for a lifetime. You will constantly draw from them. You will constantly pull from them. They will constantly pull from you. You will constantly be able to pick the phone up. Oh, and something else, all relationships aren't what you think they are. And the more I grow spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, the clearer I see that. I know people that have sat on the phone at midnight building out business strategies. And I've called on that person for something and was admonished for doing it. And at first, I thought it was jealousy. But now I see it was protection. Because calling on that person for what I needed them for was wrong for me. Because for me, for what I needed, that was a wrong for connection. You have to understand as you build and scale and grow. Interconnectionness, there are people that you have to keep within their proper distances, to coin a phrase from an old TV show. Not because they're bad people, not because they're ill intended, but because they have limitations. Good morning, Vaughn. But because they have limitations for what they can do for you. And because if they become overly involved in what they're doing for you, they can set you off the mark. Now, somebody is listening to me and saying, this doesn't make any sense. This is overloading. This is overwhelming. This is why 85% of businesses fail. Because it isn't difficult, but there are a lot of moving parts. This is why you can't do business alone. This is why you have to take mentorship and instruction from people who are 10 steps ahead of you. This is why you should be in rooms with people who are far advanced from you. This is why when I hear people say, I'm getting advice from people who are struggling just like you, it's sad. I'm not saying you shouldn't get encouragement from people struggling with you. I'm saying taking bad advice from people who are struggling with you is bad. Because if you're failing and they're failing, that's two failing people giving bad advice. I mean, it is what it is. That's just like two people with heart disease giving each other dietary advice. Well, you both have heart disease, so you're both doing something wrong. However, somebody who has overcome heart disease and is 5 years, 10 years ahead can then advise these two, this is how I overcame heart disease. You see the difference? That's the difference. And that's what I'm talking about. You see, you take coaching from the person who overcame, you take community from the person who is struggling with you. That's the difference. And people struggle, I don't know why. People struggle against being in community and taking coaching. And it is more expensive. This is the one lesson that I've learned. And to go back in time, if they built a time machine today, I would sign up and I would go back in time and I would engage every coach that I didn't sign up with. Well, not every coach. I would sign up with Darnell Jervy and I would sign up with Andy Enriquez. I would take Andy Enriquez's advice and fire that team because he told me to fire that team, and I would have fired every last one of them. And I would have engaged a new team. I would have signed up for Darnell Jervy's coaching program. I would have hired Epic April for marketing back then. I would be a real millionaire today had I did that back then. If I hired those three coaches, I would have hired and her name fell out of my head. Oh my God. And she is the ultimate um corporate coach. And I feel embarrassed, but when I remember her name, I'm gonna drop her name too. But Andy Enriquez is a speaking coach, and somebody gave me the ultimate compliment. Lower gave me the ultimate compliment when he thought I had taken a speaking class. I have not, but I've sat in enough speaking trainings, and then I've been speaking in church my whole life. But Andy Enriquez is somebody I've sat in his speaking symposiums. Epic April is my marketing coach. Darnell Jervy is one of my business coaches. Pastor Darius Daniels is my mentor. So Bold House Initiative is my corporate coach and consultant, is my corporate consultant. Varian Brandon is my mindset coach. You know, five. I have five of them. You know, and somebody is going to say that's too much. It's not enough. He doesn't know it yet, but I just identified my tax person. Because guess what? I've been doing taxes since I was in college. I shouldn't be doing my own taxes. So this year was the last year I did my own taxes. And I'm quite sure when he comes in and do my taxes, he's going to tell me something I did wrong because I was rushing to do them. Because I did something I tell my own clients not to do. I waited till the last minute. And I didn't follow my own advice. However, but the point being, and to get back on topic for this morning's live, but you see those people, and I'm gonna go back here. All these people except for Pastor Darius, he's somebody I just came across 3 years ago. All of those people that I just named, Angelique Ruers, she's my corporate consultant and my corporate coach. All of these people I've been following for years, but I've had to weed out the noise. And when I say weed it out, I mean weed it out. Because there's some bad coaching out here. But you have to weed out the noise. You have to discern who is telling you nonsense and who isn't. You have to discern. And I'm going to tell you some of the worst business advice out here is telling you, and I'm not telling you to spend umpteenth hours doing it because, as I told you Friday, there are hidden distractions. And if you miss Friday's chatter, all the replays are posted on my YouTube channel. But there are hidden distractions. But people who are telling you you shouldn't have a website, yes, you do, especially if you're going to be a government contractor, because they do check your website presence and they do check your social presence. If you're doing business, if you're trying to be a subcontractor to large primes, they check for a web presence. There are certain things they look for. So if you don't have a website, go get one. It doesn't have to be a $5,000 website, so cut it out. And you don't have to have one, um, and they're cheap. Um, Tomorrow, I'm gonna go through the 10 things a government contractor needs to have. Matter of fact, I'm doing a talk in June in Augusta, and I believe that's going to be my talk. 10 things for a government contractor. I'm doing a master class, the benefits of government contracting. On TikTok, it's posted. So if you go to my website, I'm sorry, I said website. If you go to my profile, you should see it. Everybody else, the class will go up early, will go up today. You'll be able to register. I am offering a VIP option where you have to pay. The VIP option, I will answer questions. I will do some deep diving. There will be a workbook available. Anybody who's ever worked with me, when I do VIP, I go all out. And for the VIP option, the recording will be made available to you for the VIP option. I'm also wrapping up today's segment. I'm also starting 2 subscription services. There's a $9.99 a month subscription service. That is there'll only be some subscription only lives. Those lives are where I'm only answering and talking to my subscribers. You'll get a newsletter. You'll be invited to a subscribers only community where I answer questions. And I'm going to tell you something. That community is where your next business partner, whatever it is at. So when you're looking for somebody who provides whatever type of service you're looking for, they're in that community. If you're looking to do business with people who conduct business like you do, and they're hard to find, joining communities is the first step in the vetting process. I learned it. I learned it the hard way. Joining community is how you vet businesses. That's the first step. The second step is attending events. The next benefit of being a subscriber is you learn about my events first. I have virtual events and I have face-to-face events. You get to know about my events firsthand. My second subscription service, that one is a little more intensive. That's a $97 a month investment. Now that's called SustainaCore. SustainaCore, you get the newsletter, you get access to the private community, you also get trainings. I have a whole host of government contracting trainings, how to set up your projects, how to set up government accounting. It goes on and on and on. Disclosure statement trainings. I walk you through the new SAMs. Literally, walk you through the new SAMs. It's DIY, which means you do it yourself. And it's a nice little portal. That's $97. You get a monthly Q&A session, live Q&A with me in a private community. That's a $97 investment. And you also get key access to first access to all of my trainings. And in the $97 investment, you get carte blanche to all of my trainings and you get the video trainings for free. So if it's a paid training, everybody else has to pay for it to go VIP. When you're in the $97 version, you get it because you already paid the $97. Why would I have you pay twice? So on TikTok, you go to my link tree. I need to update it today, but or if you just want to do the $9.99, you just hit the subscribe button. Everywhere else, you'll go to my LTACG.as.me. You can subscribe there. And with that, I am going to log off and finish my breakfast and prepare for the rest of the day. But I want to close out with this. I'm going to invite you back tomorrow morning for another edition of Contracting Chatter. And we go live at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a whole lot going on the legislative side. And I've been trying to digest that because there's some new things with with privacy that's going on that I find interesting. TikTok is launching its own version of Instagram, is what I've heard. So I find that interesting. But people say TikTok is going away. Yeah, I need to pay attention to stuff. Yeah, I need to peep some things. Peep game. I'm still, my new episode of the podcast is up. We're talking about your structure. You tell the IRS how to treat you as a business. My next episode, which is coming up next Friday, we're talking about proposal development. So that's with my that is a conversation we're having with a LT&A team member. She and I are talking about that. So that's a hoot of a conversation. And then the next two podcast episodes, one is about proposal development. The next one is about proposal compliance. So there's just a lot going on in my world. So I hope to see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another edition of Contracting Chatter. I'm your host, Luciana Turner, and I want you to keep this in mind. There's always peace when you walk away from the storm. I want you to hear what I just said. There's always peace when you walk away from the storm. There's a lot of storms that we're in because we just don't want to walk away from them. Remember, when you meet people, you need to ask yourself, are these people that you're supposed to be doing a lifetime with, a season with? Are there people you're supposed to be making friendships with, partnerships with? Are you supposed to pray with them, or are you supposed to war with them? And with that, I will see you tomorrow.